Happy New Year, everyone. It's officially the year 5785 on the Hebrew calendar. And right off the bat, I just love these numbers, 5 being the number of grace, 7 representing perfection and completion, the number 8 representing new beginnings and infinite possibilities. And then we have another 5. So double portions of grace for this new beginning of infinite possibilities and just really stepping into a more perfected state and bringing to completion a cycle. And we're really now entering into such a revolutionary time in the earth. We're entering into a new era, and this is a new age. It's really about entering into the kingdom age and manifesting as the sons of God in the earth that the whole earth has been groaning for and waiting for this time. And so it's a super special time and exciting time in humanity. And God has chosen us to be born for such a time as this. And this solar eclipse that has kicked us off into a new Hebrew year and into the month of Tishri, the first month of this Hebrew year, has really kicked us off into the hero's journey. Okay, the solar eclipse in the constellation Libra is really about the hero's journey. It's about letting go of the past and really looking forward to move into this higher purpose, higher calling, your hero's journey, okay? Because each one of us has been given a destiny and a purpose here in the earth by God. God has written our stories, and we are the main character in our story. And we're here to fulfill the high calling that God has purposed for us. Now, in the book of Job, God talks about how each one of these heavenly bodies have an influence. So this month of Tishri, God has paired with the constellation Libra. And Libra is about justice. It's the justice scales. It's about judgment. It's about the truth, bringing the truth to light. Um, it's about bringing balance. And so this goes for the collective and the world stage, but it also goes for us as individuals and our own individual little stories and our journeys. And so it's not a coincidence that we're seeing so much being exposed at this time. I've never seen so much exposure taking place in Hollywood at once. And really, all their web of lies and wickedness and their evil activities is just being exposed like never before. And so this is exciting, and this is the hand of God moving. And as I said, it's no coincidence that it's happening in this time period under the influence of Libra, because Libra is about bringing justice, judgment, and balance and truth. And so there's a lot of that going on, a lot of exposure going on, and we will continue to see more things come to light in the coming days and more scandals breaking, because God is moving us out from this era that we've been in and this influence that we've been in, and he's working us out of the dark ages, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is all about humanity and humanitarian efforts and the collective, about bringing everyone up higher and into wisdom and purpose. And so we are entering a new age. We're entering a new era with God. we are really stepping into the kingdom age. This is about the manifestation of the sons of God. This Hebrew year is about the manifestation of the sons of God. And I talked about how last month, the month of Elul, was under the constellation influence of Virgo. And Virgo is representative of the Revelation 12 woman. And it's really been about birthing the sons of God in the earth, birthing the kings and priests of God in the earth. And this eclipse that we've had that has kicked us off into this new year, into this new Hebrew month of Tishri, this solar eclipse in Libra has really been about the hero's journey. So it's about leaving behind the old you, leaving behind the past, leaving behind the person that people thought you were, or all the limitations that were put on you by other people, and really stepping into this higher calling, this super you, right? So think about it as the hero's journey, as Peter Parker realizing that he is Spider-Man and he now has to embody his superhuman superhero calling and let go of who everyone thought he was. So it's an exciting time, but it is definitely a time where we're being confronted with places of imbalance in our own personal relationships. And that can always be uncomfortable. And especially when you've been doing this process of really stepping into who you are and following your life's calling and your identity in Christ, and really letting go of those labels that people have tried to put on you and the limitations that people have tried to put on you. And so you thought you've already done this work, only to realize that you're having to face that certain relationships, really the closest relationships to you, still need work, still need boundaries. And these can be the harder ones to address because these dynamics have been established since your childhood. These dynamics come from your family, and those can be the hardest ones to tackle, but that is what God is tackling at this time. And so we're having to confront certain relationships and dynamics, and people don't necessarily like that. But if we don't do this, one, we're not going to be able to live out our highest potential, but two, we're going to continue to enable the bad behavior that they need to confront within themselves.
So oftentimes, this is going to address the relationships that are closest to you, family, friends, or business relationships. And it's really forcing us to bring that balance, which means we have to kind of draw the line in the sand and say, this is how this is going to have to work if we're going to continue to have this relationship moving forward. And what I'm realizing is, I hate to hurt people's feelings. And so I just, can see areas where people basically need to change and mature and grow and accept some honest truths, and so that they can be free. But I know it's going to hurt them. But at the end of the day, we cannot enable these bad perspectives and mindsets and cycles that they're continuing to repeat because of the lack of wanting to face the truth and wanting to realize that they need to change in certain areas. And this could go for you as well. We're not perfect. So I'm really realizing that I need to make changes. I need to stand up more for my truth, speak, and have my voice, even if it hurts people. Um, because as if it's grounded in truth, then the truth will set people free. It might hurt. The truth cuts. It's a double-edged sword, but it sets us free. And so we're not doing anyone any favors, and we're not doing ourselves any favors. So you see, sometimes tough love is necessary and is really the ultimate love, because we can try to save people's feelings and it will end up causing ourselves to be held back and hindered, and them to be hindered and held back. And so God really needs us to, respectfully stand in our truth and establish healthy boundaries, say what needs to be said. And this gives us the opportunity to really step into who we are and embrace who we are authentically without having to sacrifice parts of ourself, our truth, our story, for the feelings of others. Okay. And if they truly do love you, and if they're ready to face the truth in the truth and the need for change in their own lives, then this will actually produce a more harmonious and stronger relationship and balanced dynamic. And so it can be difficult, but it is so liberating at the same time. And I'm realizing, as I've really put my foot down and communicated, and I'm not saying go off on people, but I am saying speak your truth in love. It's okay to be direct. It's okay to have those conversations and to kind of, tell it like it is in a nice way, and let people have the opportunity to decide to grow and evolve and make changes, or to shut down and, to distance themselves. But either way, it is a win-win situation, because you're going to either lose people that are not going to support your growth and your higher calling moving forward, or you're going to give them the opportunity to realize and reflect on certain things and make changes that will help them develop healthier mindsets and perspectives, and help them come out of a cycle of things that have been ingrained in them from the brokenness of their own past. So it is not just about you. It is for your benefit and your moving forward, but it also is for their own good as well. So this is what I'm experiencing, and I've made some heavy conversations over the last couple weeks, and the results have actually been beneficial. Now, some people, the conversation begins with them kicking and screaming, so to speak, and trying to deflect or make excuses. But I'm realizing that as I refuse to allow people to, to try to make excuses for their bad behavior, and to allow them for that behavior to leave me in a deficit, I'm realizing that they are realizing that, oh, wow, well, I'm either going to have to change the way I treat this person or I behave with this person, or this person's going to move on without me. And what I'm realizing is that, that's their choice to make, and they're free to make that decision. But I know in my heart that I am kind, I am compassionate, I am a blessing and a servant to those around me. I try to build people up. So at the end of the day, it's going to be their loss. And I'm finding that when they actually look at it deep down and hear what I'm saying, they know that too. They know that it's going to be a loss. And so they're having to make the hard decision to change and transform. And it's been very liberating. So, although it's been super uncomfortable, I hate drama or what you could call confrontation. I get upset that I even have to tell people what seems so obvious to me. Like, just be kind. Just treat me the way that I treat you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. But, life just can't be that simple when it comes to humans. So it's been frustrating to have these hard conversations, but it's been absolutely necessary. And I'm absolutely sure of what I want moving forward and will not allow or tolerate anything to continue on in unhealthy behaviors that leave me in a deficit. I have my higher calling to fulfill, and I can't be bogged down with people's toxicity and their own refusal to do the work to heal and to change their perspective and come into their higher calling. So it's really been transformational. I'm just really hopeful that change is taking place. Now, I've set boundaries and there's been distance that I've had to make because I need to see those changes. I need to see that people are serious about doing that work and about changing the dynamic of our relationship for both of our mental health and emotional health and overall good. So the space has been good. It's been giving me more time to really use that energy on myself, on doing the things that I love to do, and working on the things I need to work on. So it's really been a great time of growth and personal liberation, really. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys because we're all kind of facing this moment in time where God's asking us to come out of our comfort zones and to just pay whatever the cost is to begin the hero's journey. You've been through so many trials, so many tests, and this is the last closing work that needs to be done for you to completely release all that's in the past and move forward into your highest calling. And this is the time of the Josephs. And you will see that as Joseph was raised into position and he embodied it shortly after his family was restored, and they repented, and they were changed, and they were humbled, and God redeemed the time, and he redeemed the family of Joseph. And ultimately, he vindicated Joseph in due time. And even though his family never understood his calling, they thought he was being prideful and haughty, and they didn't understand. After he took his place and stepped into his high calling, then the Lord was able to show them who Joseph was and what it was all about, why it all had to play out the way that it did. So don't be afraid to be the bad guy in other people's narratives, because, they just might not be ready to face the truth, and they might just not be able to see it right now. But in due time, they will be able to understand why you made the decisions you made, why had to speak your truth and had to set those boundaries in place. So it's all for a purpose, and it's all for their good, not just yours, but theirs. So yeah, be blessed this month. Continue to embrace and trust the journey. God's got you, and everything's working together for the good of those who love him. Amen.